Hello, galactic travelers, cosmic crew. Anybody there? I got the 711. Okay, guys. How is everybody? I know it's been a few days, and I am here pulling it together as much as I can to talk about what's going on with these ascension symptoms. Because I know we're all feeling them in different ways, especially with this eclipse that's happening. The next couple of eclipses, I've spent a little bit this morning looking at all the eclipses that are coming up, and other astrologists and stuff are diving into these, and there's all kinds of sacred geometry that is happening in the charts right now. We have a grand earth trine and then a grand water trine. Hi, Sherry. And it's really pulling our bodies apart. We're ascending and bringing in more light and photon into our bodies than we ever have before. Hi, Christopher. I look forward to meeting you. And it has kicked my booty, okay? And I'm calling this the Ascension flu. And you guys know, I don't know if you remember, but flu I call a frequency level upgrade. But I think we're all feeling this in different ways. This, for me, hey Raven, we're talking about these ascension symptoms that are going on. And it's happening within and without, right? I mean, above, as above, so below. And y'all bear with me because I'm really trying to pull it together to talk about this right now. It's as above, so below. So this eclipse, you know, and the way that the planets and everything line up, I mean, that is your Merkaba. It is what's going on inside of our bodies. And so right now there's lots of energy that's coming into our vessels, and we're getting all kinds of things that are happening. You know, not only just maybe you're feeling not feeling great, you know, like we're, hi everybody. Hi Deborah. Some of us are getting headaches. For me, I've just had on last Friday, I've been in bed Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, just kind of with a light fever, body aches, intense body aches. Are you guys feeling this? I mean, I feel, and I've said this before, like my bones are being squeezed, but this is kind of like this, what people would have used to call the flu. And there's a point to all this, because when I started feeling like this, it's funny, because then all these programs kind of start recalling themselves, right? And that's why I wanted to do this video real quick, because when people ask, because I say now we have the instructions. We didn't have the instructions before for this body, you know, and now we have the instructions. And people always comment in and say, well, what are the instructions? Well, the instructions are the spiritual stuff that we talk about all the time, you know, and releasing and all these things, but they are manifesting in the Big Bang reality of right now. And we're trying to understand how to, and what's happening, right? And I just completely lost my train of thought. Completely. What was I talking about? Feeling disconnected is another one. I'm feeling really, are you guys feeling disconnected, meaning spiritually? Having a harder time meditating, having a harder time, you know, having to really dig deep for everything right now. And we're being, we're not being tested. That's a perception. You know, the other one is that we're on the brink of this plasma bubble, and we're pushing forward, and our light is bringing and sifting through our bodies these experiences, and it's not only on an experience level within your life, but it's also happening within our bodies. And for me, I know what I was talking about, perceptions of getting sick, because when I started, well, first, that was one of them, right? That I'm sick. You immediately say, I'm sick. And this is where we talk about the instructions. Well, that's an old program. So, when we start feeling all these different symptoms, and when they pile up on us to where we would call the old version of that the SICK word, right? Because you don't want to call it in, but that's immediately where you go, because we're trying to deprogram ourselves. So first, once you realize, okay, I don't need to go to the doctor, right? Because that's where I started, and I had to get through these mind processes, because our bodies are feeling, I'm feeling a little bit more weak, and like when we get in our emotion, or whenever we're feeling just physically suppressed in some way, it's harder to connect to that consciousness. So once I got over that, okay, I'm sick, I'm not sick, then it was like, okay, the next oh, I know what it was. The next thing that popped up in my head was, who's attacking me? Which is so funny. Sorry. Is there someone that's sending me negative energy? Which is possible, right? I mean, we are in this huge spiritual war. So, there's one more perception. So now we have, okay, I'm sick, which is what most people in the old 3D would say, to, okay, I'm having some some symptoms of maybe some negative energy that's coming at me. Okay, so then I went through that whole light and dark thing, and then I was like, no, that can't be. And then when it gets down to the bottom of it, I needed to sit the hell down. I know that, because then you go to, okay, the universe is making me sit down because of the intensity of this energy, and having to integrate it. And I had completely forgot, that the sun just went through Sirius. Well, that's where my soul has mastery from. So all those downloads, I'm sure, but my body right now, even my organs, like I feel like my lungs are being squeezed, my ribs, like into my rib cage, my legs, and I want to know if you guys feel this. That restless leg that you get when you lay down? Well, just this past week, and right before I got sick too, when we felt the energy, really start shifting higher, as soon as I would lay down, like I could be sitting for a long time, but as soon as I completely lay down and my body is horizontal, my legs just get this intense restless leg. Yes. I think it's this energy, always restless legs. Does it die down after a little bit? Does it happen just as soon as for me, it happens just as soon as I lay down, and it's immediate, and then I'm like, okay, it's just the energy, it's the energy, and it all has to do with our chakra system, right? And the energy and how it's pulsing. So just remember that, because see, again, this isn't the other perception of it, but this is what consciousness is all about. And this is why I fought like heck to show up for you guys right now, because this is the crap we need to be talking about. Your feet have been on fire, and that's that earth star chakra. That's the energy that's pulsing up, because right now, guys, we are stargates for reals, like Moo would say. We are stargates. We have opened up these portals, and there is sacred geometry in the charts right now. And we're leading up to this eclipse in the new moon. New moon eclipse. And then not only that, but this is just like a gear up to the full lunar that's going to be on the 27th, that's right before the full moon. And the geometry that's lining up in the zodiac for that is all 444s, and it's insane. It actually equals a 9. But anyway, I want to show you this too, and I hope this works. This is from a site, it's timeanddate.com. I was looking up, what is an eclipse? Like, for how does it line up? What's the difference between a partial eclipse and a solar? Like, so I could read it. And I saw this video. And so the blue, and this is on timeanddate.com. Plug. So here, it already started because it wasn't necessary. But here we go. It's rising. That's the sun. The moon is on top. It's going to station just like this. This is for the partial. This is on the new moon. Now check this out. Did you see that? What? It goes in, and then it slowly turns, and then it goes that direction. All right? It was like we shifted into a wheel, and we turned it and then went another direction. Now, when we're thinking about that in the planet and what's above, and we know as above so below, then what I'm starting to see more and more and more with the research that I'm doing, not just on the starseed readings and looking at the bloodlines and the programs, but how and Ptolemy linked to the starseed systems. But this is all how I see it in blood cells now. So, I'm even making links to Venus and the Draco hybrid bloodline, right? It's crazy, but what happens above is also happening inside, and this is the part that people want to just gloss over. And the old program is going to have us say that we're sick and to immediately go to a doctor. Well, no wonder we never got down to the bottom of our crap. Okay? So frequency level upgrade is for real. And I talked to, and that's what I called the Ascension flu that I've had over the past few days. The body aches have been really intense, and a lot of mucus. Like I just feel like I'm clearing out all through here. And then my skin has been almost flaky, which is abnormal. Have you guys had this? And what else? There was some, oh, yes. And then my hair has really, like, I'm shedding. My skin's shedding, my hair is shedding. And so that's just started up again. I don't have Ormus, right? And I have a whole tripped out story about Ormus, and I don't even know for real what it all was, so I'm kind of sketchy about that when I first woke up. But I would love if somebody had a trusted source, please put it on the comments. But I do use IMED colloidal gold, and I love it. And I think everyone should be using colloidal gold. It's called IMED. Gerald Clark, and they have one called Sacred Fire that we just saw on Maru's live stream with him that I want to check out. Another monatomic gold. But, oh yeah, I use that every day, and I highly suggest it, right? Water. This is, dang it, and I should have done a setup. I didn't think I was going to go there, but even how you're drinking your water can affect your consciousness and affect your ability to maintain and hold more light. Something as simple as remembering that the water the way they have it set up on the planet, the man said it right, it's set up to make all these angles so it stops the flow, just like in everything else. So not only is there crap in the water, but the way they're processing the water is also taking the life out of the water. So I now have a water bottle, but before I got this guy, and this is glass, so drink out of glass, you know, please try not to drink out of the plastic. What you're doing is you're putting energy back into your water. And you can do this a bunch of different ways, but the way I was doing it, even, I get the big plastic bottles of water, but pour it in a glass container. Because when you pour it, and I would put a couple of crystals in there. You can program them or not put crystals. I put some shungite, and I have some ones that soak up. I also, oh gosh, my water, pH, alkaline water. Alkaline water if you can. I know not everyone has access to it, but Sprout, Central Market, places like that, but alkaline water, if you can't do that, then spring water, or of course if you do distilled water, but pour it into a vessel, and as you're pouring it, just thank it and love it. You're putting energy back into, and then you can pour it in from, I would let it sit. I would put the water in this glass. I found an old like flower vase is what I used. You don't remember, I'm starting over just like you guys, like use what you got too, for reals. Like we waste so much crap. Put it in the water bottle, I mean the vase, and let it sit and bless it, and then drink that from there. And that will give your body more energy and more life of something flushing through. You'll also notice that you're not drinking as much water, because Americans, the way out of that plastic bottles, sometimes we drink too much water. We don't need that much. You want to drink maybe 2 of these a day, right? I don't drink enough water. I know, Caroline. I drink more water. I really do need to work on that. Copper jewelry for RH negatives. Yes, and you know what else I've noticed, and I thought about that, I'm glad you brought that up, is just in the past 3 or 4 days, jewelry that I had has now started to tarnish on my skin. So it's like the pH level, the acidic level is even changing the metals, but yeah, copper jewelry for sure. So this could be manifesting physically, or we've got right now, we're on the pulse of this just mass awakening. And we're all feeling that too. And it's like we're in this like pressure cooker, and we're starting to go and I'm just, the past few days have been really at battle with myself. I'm gonna be honest. You know, I share everything with you guys, and it's things that I never second guess, and it's you know, like should I just go get a job? I had that thought. That's insane. But I was feeling bad, and see, that emotion kicks in, and so I had to, but because I have the other perception knowledge, because this is back to what I started talking about in the beginning. This is what this experience is all about. When you take that one experience of us having these physical ailments that we consider to be bad, that we have been taught we need to fix them and take all the symptoms away, where sometimes it's just a process of shedding that you have to go through. So once you get rid of that perception, then what happens? Then when you're going through these layers of consciousness, especially the new ones coming on, then it's this rapid fire attack of every fear and every insecurity, of that energy that's coming up in them. And then it's like this light and dark battle that happens. Now, light and dark meaning the polar opposite of whatever. But it does become, for me, my next perception automatically, it was so funny, was who's attacking me? Who's throwing negative energy at me, And I find that very funny, because I did get wrapped up in it a little bit, because it just wanted to blame somebody else. Now, there could be some truth in that, but I also know that I'm not giving that any of my power. So when I scratched that one off and I was like, not that one. And then I was like, oh, well, maybe, actually I thought about a Luna. And it's like, that's the immediate thought that came in my head. And it was like, okay, Christy, you need to chill. There's so much energy and everything coming up. You need to relax. And see, I'm an Aries rising. And we're all like Lyran, crazy star seeds, because we're all feeling that pressure. And so to tell us to sit down on the sidelines when we're walking up to war is mega hard. So of course I have to have these extreme physical ailments. Plus I got, Libra and everything in the 6th, 7th house. But that would be the experience to make me sit down. So then, as I'm resting and I have these crazy, stupid thoughts that are coming up, I have already made the attachment that I'm not sick, that nothing's attacking me. Because see, if I was stuck in nothing's attacking me, or is something attacking me, and then I started having all these flashback thoughts of my ex, which has been heavy online, it's like the universe is going, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And I'm going, yes, I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure. For now, right? With the information I know now, I'm sure. But if I hadn't have already made the perception in my mind that this was an experience that I had created for myself, because, heck, I'm fixing to have a Venus return too. My Venus is 3 degrees Virgo. So this new moon, and plus I'm all these cardinal signs, and my moon is 22 degrees Libra. So everything is squaring everything, and it's Venus return. My Venus is going to be aligned. And not only that, but Caroline, my good friend, her sun is on 3 degrees Virgo. And not only that, but the reading I did last week for one of my clients, her sun was 2 degrees Virgo. So, oh my gosh, just like in the physical circle of people that we know in our physical reality that are connected. We all know July is a big month. So we got 22 people watching right now. But shit, it's like, oh, the energy, and I feel like I just want to jump out of my skin. But then I chill out. But again, it's just having that perception. And what's happening for most people right now is they have no idea about this other perception. They just think that the world is falling apart, and who knows what else. So this is why everything comes back to our thoughts. And comes back to us retraining ourselves. And you guys, I love you so much, and I'm so grateful for all the energy that you guys have been sending me. I'm so grateful. And I'm so grateful to be here on this planet with you right now. and I can't wait to see what all we can create. But we're here for one another. And I can promise you, no matter what you feel or you're going through, or you think that you've done or don't deserve or whatever, that it's just trickery and it's all opposite. And all the crap we're leaving behind and we're becoming anew. Y'all wanna, anything else? I've got like a few more minutes. I love you too, Sherry. Sherry's a badass Lyran. You guys want starseed readings? I've got some, not even starseed readings, they're activations, you know. And another thing I'm going to add to my services is just, it's $45 to talk for 45 minutes. Addiction's coming up real big online with people right now. And thank you, Pamela, for noticing. I'm doing them so inexpensively because I didn't have coin to pay a lot of people for a lot. And so that there's so many of us starseeds living on people's couches right now with our life, completely able to pack up and move where we need to go in a blink's eye. It's not that we don't have big houses. It's not that we don't have all this shit. It's that we just got rid of all of it so that in a blink of an eye we can pick up and move. So I understand a lot of us are online waiting for that. And it's just time to spend talking about these things, because that's the most important part. It's just when you can make that conscious connection, everything else works out. But addiction is coming on real big right now because, again, we have this polarity, and if people are not addressing their addiction, and the star seeds for reals, like, you know, I had a 30-year addiction to hydrocodone. I started taking them when I was 9 because of migraines. A lot of, you know, we were infiltrated a lot. So many of us have this addiction. And it is a bitch. There's different ones. But see, even if you aren't addicted to a substance, you're addicted to something. I promise you. And it's coming up a lot right now. And the main thing is to remember, you are like gonna get clean at the best time through Ascension. Because if there's anything that got me clean, it was this. And if you had awoken sooner, you would not be here for us now. Right. And that's what so many of us were doing. I had this conversation with somebody today because I was talking to their daughter who was wanting to get clean and, you know, having to figure out how to do it with the physical stuff. And I wanted to talk to her so I could explain to her at a perception level of the programs that were involved, because a lot of it is also that we were empaths, and people don't understand that they're feeling other people's energy. And I looked at her chart, and she straight up has a water trine in her natal chart. So of course she didn't know that she was picking up other people's energy. No one told her that. I didn't know either until not even 2 years ago, you know, that I was picking up other people's energy, and that all this that I was feeling wasn't me, because I just thought it was me. So anyway, my point is, talking to her, and Amanda texted me, she's like, oh my gosh, you know, she's asking me all these questions now. But my point is, we can deal with all this shit right now. There really isn't another choice anymore in the matter. It's like you either choose to get out of that resonance and move forward or not. And so for me, like, as as a soul, like that's the only way you can really get me to do anything. But it's the truth. So my point is, this ascension journey, whatever it is that we're trying to quit, it's not even that we're trying to quit. It's that we're so focused now on just getting our energy up that no matter what it is, it's affecting it. We just don't want it anymore. And so if it's something that we know is affecting it really horribly, then we work really extra hard to stop. So anybody that's dealing with addiction right now, remember that, if it was, number one, a lot of us star seeds that came in, right, since, because remember, there was over 80,000 of us here before 1971, 72. And then that huge solar flare is what grounded the ones that came in after August of 72. And we came here as these energy frequencies to ignite this planet, basically, which is why everything's evolved so crazy fast in our lifetimes. If you were born in 72 or 73, how the technology's changed so fast, how everyone even views adoption and home life. I mean, oh my gosh, have y'all sat and thought about this? Because it's evolved so quickly, but that's what we came here for. I forgot my point. I got off all on that. But I'm gonna go. I love you guys. I love you, love you, love you. Hang in there. Whatever it is, just realize what it is, that whatever comes up in your reality right now that you feel like you're getting some type of reaction from in a negative way, no matter what it is, just immediately identify what that emotion is and what experience that made you feel that emotion, because that emotion's only based on the past, because fear is only a recall of an emotion of the past. That's all it is. So what was it? Identify it, and then go, okay, I learned that lesson, and let it go. If we can just, no matter what it is, because there's all kinds of trickery going on. So no matter what it is, if we can just keep doing that, and just one step at a time, and know that we're all linked together. If you accept, let's link our energy together. Let's try this. I call on Creator. I call on all my starseed origins. I call on all the archangels. I call on the ascended masters. I call on all the highest dimension beings that are here to represent all of us in this now. I ask for all of our energy to be cloaked and connected and cloaked in a plasma silver energy gloss that reflects all negative energies or entities that come at us in this now. That none of that will penetrate any of the spheres and the quantum entanglement of the energy that is represented in this now. And as every person joins this video and accepts at this point, they will be linked energetically and will be covered in this energy cloak that reflects negative energy and holds in only your golden essence at its core. And so it is. There ain't nothing that's getting through it. You hear me? So anything that comes up, came up in us. So let's just work it out so we don't have to see it again, and then we're done, because nothing is getting through that. I love you. I love you. I love you all. I love you all of the all of the all. We are not small. We are taller than tall. Can I get a whoop? That sounded horrible. I love you guys. Mwah. I'll be back soon.